So this is the webinar on agri module, and this is the desk view. So so agriculture module was made keeping in mind the point of view of a farmer. So let's get started. Okay, so as a farmer, the first thing you need to create is a land unit doc. So if you go here, um, so you can have a tree structure. So land units, Mumbai. You can add a child, or so so Mumbai is a group unit. So you can have a tree structure. So let's just say that uh, just a second. Okay, let's create a new doc. Let's call this land unit farm overview. Let's call this as group, and let's save it. You can see farm view, and now let's make a the demarcation of the land unit. So let's just say it covers all of Mumbai, and once we save it, it's there. Now let's create a child unit inside this. Farm overview, child. No. So let's just say small farm one is a small area. Let's say it's the Mumbai airport. So you can see we have a tree-like structure. Now let's create a crop. So let's call it, I don't know, tomatoes. Scientific name. So this is a list of tasks. Here, all the tasks which are needed to be executed in order to grow the crop can be fed. So let's just say we have to plow the field. Next, and this indicates the start day and the end day. So the start day would be the day when you start this task, and the end day would be when you end it. So this is required when the actual tasks are created. I'll show it to you in a second. So in this way, you can create a crop. There are also a lot of other fields wherein you can specify the crop spacing, the row spacing of the crop. Okay, this should be column spacing. Then we have the type of the crop, whether it's an annual, perennial, or biennial crop. The target warehouse where the crop will be processed. So let's call it finished warehouse, or you can create a warehouse from here. Next, we have the planting unit of measurement. let's say it is numbers based on the seeds, UOM. You can add the materials required, etc., etc., and save it. So I've created a sample here already. So as you can see, carrot, the scientific name, tasks which are required, the period is automatically calculated from here, crop spacing, and that's about it. So once the crop is created, you can create a crop cycle. So a crop cycle can be considered similar to a manufacturing order. So let's call it. Okay, so once you select the start date, this is the start of the crop cycle. Based on this, the tasks will be created from the crop. So we can save it. This is the minimal amount of information required. So once you save it, a project is automatically created with the same name, carrot 2017. And if you go here, all the tasks from the carrot doc type are imported here. So as you can see, and the start date and end date are based on the start date and end date of the carrot crop. So we have selected the first day as 1st of Jan. So as you can see, start date and end date are correspondingly created. That's for the crop cycle. Now we have a lot of analytics doc types wherein you can store the plant analysis, soil analysis, etc.
Amey, let's wait here. I think there are some questions asked in the chat, so
Yeah.
let's stop for first round of Q and A. If you have any queries, please unmute yourself, or you can post your questions in chat.
Okay, so the first question is, what is the difference between container and group in the land unit setting? So in case you are into hydroponics, land unit. So if you are into hydroponics and if you want to mark each bench as a land unit, you can do that. In that case, you'll have to mention if it's a so I've written this. So check if it's a hydroponic unit. So if it's a hydroponic unit that you're mentioning, so you can have this and not mark anything on the map. Whereas if it's a actual physical farmland, you can plot it on the land. That's why it's used.
I may also show the role of items in the crop cycle, how to create them and how to link it, and what's the like maybe how we're
Okay.
gonna use it.
Okay, so I forgot to mention you can also specify the materials required. So maybe for this we need tomato seeds. Tomato seeds. So you'll have to create a new item. Item group can be seeds and default UM, etc. And you can save it. Then the produce can be tomato fruit. Create new item. Item group can be produce. And the byproducts may be something like leaves or whatever. So you can have a byproduct. Okay, so you can have these. These will be imported later on into the crop cycle, linked to the crop cycle. So continuing back to the crop cycle. No, we are at analysis. So there are a lot of analytics doc types, plant analysis. So here you can, if you have had your plant analyzed, you can put in all the values of the measurements. So zinc content of the plant, manganese, iron, copper, etc. And you can also have a minimum permissible value and a maximum permissible value. These quantities will be useful for generating the reports later on. Next is the soil analysis. They are pretty much the same. You can mark a location, you can set the collection date time, laboratory testing date time, and the results date time. You can have an invoice number and all the elements, so aluminium, zinc, etc., etc. pH content of the soil, depth of the soil in centimeters from where the sample was taken. All these can be traced. So same goes for water analysis. Soil texture is something a little different. So inside soil texture, you have the ternary plot of the soil. So if you mention the clay, sand, and silt composition, it will automatically mm, calculate the soil type, plot it on the ternary plot, and you can save it. All these will be useful for generating reports. Mm, Similarly, you can track the weather conditions over a period of time. Then there's the disease dog type. So, so over here you can track. So you can create a pest or a disease which the plant faces. So let's consider aphids. Even this is similar to a crop. So it will have a name and the task associated to tackle the disease or the pest. So we have this. Now let's import this into the crop cycle. Let's say one day you realize there are aphids growing on your crop. So you can add a row, you can link, add the aphids here, and the day you realized it was happening. So let's just say 5th. Once you save it, if you go into the project, uh, you can see basically similarly as the tasks for the crop got imported over here into the task list, the tasks from the disease dog type will also be imported into the uh, project list. Next, fertilizers. Here you can have a list of all the fertilizers there and track the contents associated with them. So for the future of the agriculture module, we had decided we could add capabilities like suggesting the best fertilizer for your crop. So all this will be based on the current soil analysis of the crop of your land unit at that point, or the plant analysis. So that's in the future scope. So any questions?
We missed on how do we link all those analysis report plant and these analysis with the crop cycle. I think we didn't show how to select a land unit there
Okay.
and how it gets linked.
Okay. So if you remember, I had created the land unit as Mumbai. So as you can see, this point lies well within Mumbai. So if you go to crop cycle, if you go here and you reload the linked doc types, uh, you can see, okay, it's not working. Oh, you'll have to add the land unit here. So we had farm overview, save, reload link analysis. As you can see, all the analysis which were conducted within the plot of land, that is within the farm overview, will appear here and get automatically linked to the crop cycle doc. So yeah, same goes for the land unit. You can do the same. Even land unit has a linked analysis docs wherein all the analysis will be linked. So any questions?
I had a question about the workflow regarding diseases.
Okay.
Once you've identified a disease and you've pushed it into your task list, it doesn't. There isn't an option at that point to create a remediation step. All you've done is add a record that says there are aphids in the tomatoes, right?
No. So
I
inside the
see.
disease
Apply
document,
fungicide.
yeah. So you can list all the tasks over here which are required to tackle the disease. So
Gotcha.
these will be imported into the crop cycle.
Okay, that's a much better design. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for joining in.
Yeah, thanks everyone for joining. Let's close this call for now and continue our discuss forum. Thanks everyone. Have a great evening or morning wherever you're based. Thanks.